There's only one host currently on OC16 who can truly say that they've been on the station from the very beginning. That person is Tiny Nitro Tadani, the host and producer of Tiny TV and Radio Tiny. Tiny's been a part of the OC16 Ohana since it broadcasted its first football game back in 1989. But he got his start on the radio before he was even in high school.
I was 13 years old, and I used to listen to the radio a lot. And I used to be one of those guys who would call and win all the prizes, and I was so good at it, they told me I couldn't win anymore. Called KSSK back then with sports scores. My dad was a scorekeeper at the Blaisdell for 30-something years, so I'd get all the scores first. And that's kind of where the sports background came in. And when I gave them scores, they would pay me money. And so I said, wow, this is kind of a nice career. And then later I always wanted to be a sportscaster, and there was an opening at KITV. So I tried to be a sportscaster. Worked out great until I kept saying, how's it? That was my opening line for sports. How's it? Because I never said good evening in my life. And our boss at that time didn't like it, and so they said, you got to do weather. That's when I got the idea of Tiny TV. I used to walk around during the weather forecast. Because I knew nothing about weather, I wouldn't shoot or get video of rain or hail or winds. I would get shots of soda cans rolling on the street or a birthday party. And I'd roll that with my weather. And then I said, that's a neat thing. People like seeing themselves on TV. Wouldn't that be a good idea to have a whole program just on people of Hawaii doing stuff? And they liked it. They invented the Tiny Cam during my weather forecast.
Tiny knew he was onto something.
After I worked at KITV for a while, Mitzi said, I think it's time you come back to Channel 16, to Oceanic. And she asked me what it would take. And I said, I want a full hour on OC16. So she said, sure. What do you have in mind? And I said, I got my show. It's Tiny TV. It's me walking around with a camera anywhere from here to Vegas. From there, we added Overdrive Live and the Bradas. And now it's, I don't know, we got like 40 or 40,000 shows on OC16. And so it's kind of neat to kind of be in the early stages of something pretty big.
Tiny's drive and determination have kept him in the limelight since the 1980s, but he's never lost sight of why he does it.
Basically, it's for my family. I need to, raise my son, who's raised already. He's 20 years old, but he's always, my baby. He's, running with me all the time. We edit together. We work together closely, and that's kind of a neat thing. That way I get to keep an eye on him. If I could have one change, would be if my mom could have seen this, because we talked about this a lot. We'd always hang out and talk about what I want to do, my dreams, and she knew I wanted to do Tiny TV. And she happened to die just before the show started, and I think about her all the time. That's the difference living here, is that I could shoot at a graveyard. I can show my knee surgery or my son's graduation, and it's kind of cool because it's all about family.
In addition to spending time with his family, Tiny also does what he can to give back to those who are less fortunate.
I go out there and lend my services. I don't play an instrument. I don't sing. I can MC. So I'll go and introduce people. I like to be a part of an event just to show not just myself and as a role model, but for my son. I think it's important for him to see me going out there and doing stuff. Sometimes you got to go out and give a little extra. Through one of my sponsors, HMA, we do a thing called Keiki Birthday. This is the funnest, bestest one I do. Is we go every last Friday of the month and we do a birthday celebration for all the homeless kids at Kaka'ako Shelter who have a birthday, and we bring them cake and ice cream and presents, and we have all volunteers who come and we sing happy birthday, we show a movie. That's the kind of stuff that make me feel good, where I don't have to advertise it, but just know every month I'm doing something and I can look forward to it, and the other people look forward to it, and it's a win-win.
After more than 22 years of working with OC16, Tiny shared his feelings about the station.
It's fun, it's a passion. When you do something like that and you can earn a living, you never want to go back. You can pay the bills, travel, express yourself, work with your family, which I get to do, and you can't get it better. And for me, without OC16, I don't know what I'd be doing. Jeez. Thanks, OC16. This is the best.
Catch Tiny Tadani doing his thing on Tiny TV or Radio Tiny exclusively on OC16. Log on to OC16.tv for showtimes or to watch episodes via our shows page.